in our society, and we are beginning to like truly fight back, as well as like we are being overwhelmed and prosecuted and persecuted by judge, jury, and juror by without even the opportunity to go to court. How are y'all feeling right now?
I don't want to start because like I had just seen the shit, so I don't want my emotions to get the best of me. And I feel like every time they get this stuff like in cycles, they drill it on you nonstop, and I don't want my first reaction to be like a knee jerk reaction. Like this shit is constant, it's all the time, and I don't know. I witnessed this shit firsthand, like all the time. So
let me backtrack 1 second real quick. So have y'all watched the video of George Floyd? Have y'all watched it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody's seen that.
No, so I actually haven't even truly watched it. Like, I mean, I've seen clips and I've seen like bits and pieces, and I've also, of course, I've seen the pictures, but I haven't brought myself like mentally to actually fully like watch the actual video. 17-minute video or something like that. So I haven't brought myself to it. I know I'm going to do it soon, but I just haven't like mentally, I haven't been able to like fully focus and get to it yet. Has everybody seen it though?
Why not? Why haven't you watched it?
Nah, I don't even like watching those videos.
That's what I'm saying. You've seen them so many times.
I don't like looking at them.
Yeah, you've seen shit like that so many times in the past. Like you tired of this shit. It's exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
But for some people, like it's just like another joke to them, and like they like, yeah, let's do something about it. Then shit die down, and then another incident happened, and right back at grounds up again.
What y'all think about the riots going on out there right now? Is it uncalled for or what? What you think about the riots?
Yeah, it should be uncalled for. Like you just be acting stupid, and I don't know.
My thing is you messing up your own neighborhood, man. Like they looting, they trashing stuff. It's things on fire, but that don't make.
I hear that.
That don't help the situation. That's my thing.
Yeah. Even my whole perspective on that thing is like I feel like it's like you doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. It's funny because I feel like the people who rebelling, they thinking that they going against the grain, but they actually playing a role that's being paved in front of them. Like you're doing your job. Like they want you to be triggered like this. You see what I'm saying? That kind of like it like what's the word I'm trying to say? It's like it just keeps the cycle going. You know what I'm saying? Like just think about this shit, man. We all didn't live this shit. We went to school, had Black History Month every month. They talking about slavery every single month. They talking about how you was done bad every single month. You grow up, you watching slave movies. You watching since Rodney King back in the 90s, police brutality. You watching all this shit over and over and over and over again. So obviously, at some point, niggas gonna get to a boiling point. You know what I'm saying? But the funny thing that one of y'all even said at the beginning was that this shit been going on for a while. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we keep rioting. With Rodney King, there was a riot with that shit. And then with the last joint in Ferguson, riots with that. And then it's like, all right, so what's the outcome of that? You know what I'm saying? It's like a hamster on the wheel. That's how it looks to me. I just see some hamster on the wheel shit. And I understand that like niggas need an emotional outlet, but that shit ain't really leading enough. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, that's just how I look at the whole situation. It's like you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And in another 10 years, they're going to show another nigga get shot on TV. And then it's going to be the same shit. And the niggas going to be like, damn, man, the white man. Like, niggas don't talk about this shit for 20, 30 years on police brutality. This shit ain't never going to, like, where's the solution in this? You see what I'm saying? Like, our fathers was having this same conversation. Our grandfathers was having the same conversation. Like, what's the solution? You see what I'm saying? Like, we're going to have another 30 years of this shit, just talking about how fucked up it is and then moving on with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Because where's the solution at?
Well, as far as the riots, I do see both sides of the fence or whatever. I personally, I think the people rioting anyway, who are out there rioting, I don't think they know or have any other way to to protest or like you were saying, Marcus, the a release of that emotion or whatever. I mean, because say what if they weren't rioting, can they go out there and march with their guns? What they had the alt
But
right
here's my
groups out
question:
there, they
Who's
showing up with their guns at the Capitol and everything. What do you think will happen if hundreds of black folks is out there with their AKs and just marching or whatever? You think it's going to be some military standoff, or you think they're going to let them peacefully protest and just march like the white boys is doing up at the Capitol? No.
What does that marching do at the end of the day? For
That's
like
what I'm
Exactly.
saying.
for any party or anything that you're marching for, like what does that shit do at the end of the day?
It's a gesture. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Mm-hmm.
putting on a T-shirt saying "I can't breathe." Like that's what that
Mm-hmm.
is. It's a gesture. You know what I'm
So
saying? It's
would
a
y'all
it's a saying for that. What they call it? Virtue signal. Virtue signaling.
mm-hmm.
That's the right term for that. That's really what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's not really. You know what I'm saying? It's a hashtag. You know what I mean? Like it's a walking hashtag. That's what marching is. A walking hashtag. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Ain't really coming to no solution. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's just it make you feel like you did something. Then you go home and feel proud about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit don't really be doing nothing.
I was watching
It's
this
like it's an
movie.
I voted sticker. That shit is an I voted sticker. That's what that shit is.
I know.
Now, I was watching this movie. It's a James Baldwin movie called "I Am Not Your Negro." It's Samuel L. Jackson is a narrator and all that joint or whatever. But it was he came up around the times Medgar Evers, Malcolm X, and MLK or whatever, and they used to had their little debates and stuff or whatever. What do y'all have any? Would y'all think which side of the fence do y'all think y'all would lay on? Would y'all be on like take the Malcolm approach, or do you think you would take the Martin Luther King approach?
I think,
Mm-hmm.
just my point of view, I think both of them were necessary at that time because you saw both perspectives. You saw somebody that was nonviolent. You saw somebody that wanted to retaliate, and I feel like just because you had both of those representing, there couldn't be a stigma that everything was all violence. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna actually say that both of them were necessary. I don't think either of them were wrong though, for real. Like to me, that's just my point of view.
Yeah, I would agree.
Neither one, and it's funny
balance.
because they both started to see the other one's point of view, like they started
Yeah.
to be more
Towards the
like
end,
the other one towards the end. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, both of them. They started to see the other one's side. And they both wanted the same thing. Just everybody. A lot of us, we can all have the same goal and just have different ideas of about how to go about the shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly. It's plenty of ways to get there if you adding up stuff. So yeah, I
exactly.
definitely agree. I think both of them was necessary, and I think both of their actions as well as like their the way they went about it, the way they went about leading their movements were necessary. And I think still to this day, I know we haven't reached the point where we are truly seeing the light, but I think we are still great beneficiaries of both of their actions. That's the best way I can say it.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, but for real though, and it's funny as far as this whole marching shit. I mean, man, this is all programming. Let's keep this shit all the fucking way real. Like niggas been watching these fucking highlights from the civil rights movements over and over and over and over and over again. So when a nigga get shot, nigga feel like he's supposed to march because that's what he saw so many goddamn times watching the highlights from the civil rights movement. So I feel like that's just the go. Like that's the default because it's programming. You get hit with that shit every month your whole life growing up. You can't get away from that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that definitely is why niggas default to that. It's not even about a solution. It's more about, okay, what did niggas before me did? Oh, they marched. All right, I'm gonna march. And I think that's just all that shit is.
and that's what that was like when you gotta learn how to watch like the news and you gotta like read through the bullshit and you just get hammered like, you know, the same story in a 30-minute window over,
Yeah,
over, and you get other
exactly.
people.
That's programming.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then you get online, and then people change headlines and put their view on top of the shit, and they'll show an old video and how it relates to this video. Like, it's, you stand no chance.
Okay.
Even deeper into
All
it.
right, and even this. Go ahead.
But to get
My fault. Go ahead.
even deeper into it, like when you see people looting and shit, do you know like sometimes that they will send like operatives to into these places, and
I believe they do.
I mean, it's on camera. They would be dressed in like all black, and they would like, you know, like who has access to like tear gas and like they would like throw tear gas and shit, and they will like have like black like tactical boots, like military boots and shit like that, and
Bruh.
windows and shit like that. They entice us to act like that because
Hey, Young, please tell me when that Baltimore shit was going down with the Freddie Gray nigga. Y'all saw how fake that coverage was. I know I wasn't the only one saw that shit. Like it was this one scene where homeboy, the camera, I forgot the reporter, I don't remember which one it was a black dude, and he was like acting all stressed, like, oh, it's so much intensity, da 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 da, and they showed the camera panning, and it was nobody outside. You know what I'm saying? It was like three niggas just walking down the street.
It's somebody walking their dog.
Acting so like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was just some dude walking his dog and shit like that. But they was acting like it was just pandemonium out that joint. And then in some scenes it would be people, if y'all remember, it'd be people just standing there. Nobody acting aggressive, it'd just be niggas standing there. But the coverage will be as if like they was in the middle of a war zone. Like these niggas was acting like they was under attack. You know what I'm saying? So obviously they gonna play that. This shit it's a fucking show, man. This shit is all a performance, you know, but you 100% right. You know, like I believe 100% right. They be sending little what you call is irritants or what you call them people that come in just to start shit. You know what I'm saying? Just to because I feel like a lot of niggas know that this is some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So I be feeling like for people that always act up every time, it's like it seems too scripted. You know what I mean? Like that shit just seems too scripted. Like niggas eat the cheese every fucking time. Like, come on, man. Like, it can't be that easy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't believe that shit. Like, come on, man. Like, that shit's crazy.
So I get you saying, it sounds like you're saying marching isn't effective. What would be like one of your ideas or one of your solutions or suggestions on how we could how we as a community should I'll just say address certain issues, especially when like issues like this come to the forefront?
I mean, as far as like solutions, all right. So as far as like this police brutality shit, like I look at it like human beings make mistakes, all right, get emotional, and they make fucking mistakes. You can create all fucking laws. Every fucking law in the world, there's gonna be a nigga with a gun who's gonna do some stupid shit. You can't get around that. There's nothing you can do about it. It's gonna always fucking happen. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that through this programming in the United States where black men get demonized, and then we have music and we portray a culture, this ultra aggressive culture that we project out. So then when you're a police officer approaching one of us, even if you black or white or any fucking person, you might have a subconscious through programming natural response to be a little defensive because you was taught that, oh, it's a black person or a person of color, they're going to be more aggressive. They've been trained to be feel like we're the oppressors, which are on the same time the black person is going to get more defensive because they've been programmed that the police and the system is out to get them. So now you got two fucking emotionally defensive motherfuckers in a pressure situation. You're gonna get some fucked up shit. So through programming, right, you're gonna have a jaded perspective and an approach between a black person and a black person and a police officer. You're gonna get a jaded perspective from both sides, and then on top of that, you have emotions and a weapon. This fucking disaster. It's gonna happen in all walks of life. Like you cannot get around that. So as far as solutions, deal without the police. Like you have to get rid of all fucking police. Like the whole police structure ain't no fixing it. The shit got to be eradicated if you want to stop police brutality. But then, but let's talk about this, right? We're gonna stop police brutality, right? All right. So now police is out the fucking picture. Now what's the word we got left? We got brutality now. Now what we gonna do about that? Oh, we humans. It's okay for us to brutalize each other, but it's not okay for the fucking police to do it. Let's take police out of there. You got brutality left. Now, how we gonna solve that problem?
So
laws. I don't know.
Who's gonna enforce those laws?
So I agree.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. The reason we have police brutality is because they are just supposed to protect us from the other brutal niggas, right? So because we are brutal, we create a police. That's what creates the police. That's what puts that in place, and then you're gonna get dumb motherfuckers with guns, which creates this shit that we're going through today. Like
I think for me more so it's more so about the accountability. It's more about accountability. I mean, if you like, we can take the George Floyd instance. Bama just got fired. That was it. I mean, if the police officers,
they got fired the day after.
Yeah, they got fired the day after. All of them. They got fired the day after. And my thing is, when it comes to accountability, firing somebody ain't gonna do nothing because they're just gonna get hired in the next town over or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I mean, when you start holding these police unions accountable, they have to not making the city pay, but the police union paying for these families that have lost lives or whatever out here. They got to pay their dues. Somebody got to go to jail, and yes, you know what they be having this when they do their little civil suits or whatever. The families, I don't know how much the city's paying out, but them police unions need to be paying out. When the police department start losing money, I think that's when it's going to be some accountability out here when they're losing money and people and the police themselves are going to jail.
Okay, but my question is, how many people got to be killed in order for this to actually like all right, we're gonna say, okay, we want to end up in police brutality. You want to hold people accountable. Okay, let's say the police brutality numbers go down. Like, okay, so what's the satisfactory number so we can be like, okay,
I don't think it's
okay for them to brutalize this percentage of niggas. That's what I'm saying. But like, where is the edge? Like, where is the cup run over? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to understand.
I mean, at the bottom line,
we're trying to work to eradicate this, right? Then, like, what is the number that we need to get it down to so we can feel comfortable? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
it's going to happen regardless.
The bottom line, I think it's just racism. It's everybody's all appalled because it's a black person or whatever, and you know that's the main reason why there's nothing being done, why these people aren't being held accountable. Now, if we had a whole bunch of videos of white folks being brutalized and beat up by the police or whatever and killed by the police, I'm pretty sure something would have been done by now already.
All right, here's my question, right? All right, so y'all believe in conspiracy theories and all that shit, right? So, like, a lot of times when you watch the news, do you really believe that the shit that the media is showing you is for your benefit? Like, do y'all really believe? Like, when you see something on the news, like, do you be like, all right, the news is showing me this. Is this for my benefit?
That's what.
Do you trust the news? Do you trust the information that the news gives you?
I appreciate it all the time. Like, I watch the news just to see the bullshit they're trying to feed me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then. So this is my point. So when they show you videos of black men getting shot, how is that helping us?
It's not at all.
That's my point. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do we want to believe them? It's like, oh, a black man got shot. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about that. They showing you that shit for a fucking reason. It's not supposed to help us. It's not supposed to be like, oh no, the blacks need to know that they're being brutalized because we care. Like, oh, we only believe the media care about us when they showing us getting shot by the police. Like, I understand that shit.
But in all honesty, like, I don't need to see the news to know how white officers treat black people because
exactly.
I agree with that, but I'm talking about the influx in emotion that comes out after, or when the people get riled up and the conversation starts. It's like, we know this happen every day, but our direction, our attention sends to go this whenever they show it on TV. That's what I mean.
What else that does, Marcus?
It's numbing people to the reality. It's numbing folks down.
It also diminishes the value of the black man, and I think people see that worldwide too. It's not just the States. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Yeah, you see us.
Yeah.
You know, a Chinese person see us getting killed back to back you know, week after week, he like, man, well, they getting away with stuff because they, you know, they ain't valuable over there.
Okay, but even within that though, but like, all right, so what type of Black Death are we talking about? Is it only a problem when it's the white people being shown shooting us on television? Like, are we only talking about like, because we talking about people seeing us getting killed so much, but you know, I can turn on any fucking song right now within this culture and I'll listen to niggas talking about killing. So if I'm another person of a different race, I'm like, oh, these niggas must not value themselves much because they be killing each other all day, every day. Don't nobody else do that shit to their people when they music, but them, that must be some shit that they do. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so like where's the bound? Like okay, so it's okay for us to display ourselves on the worldwide stage killing each other on a beat. But if they show it on the news, oh, we can't let it like die. That shit ain't good. Like that's what I'm saying.
So I agree with you on that. I agree with you.
One's entertainment though.
That's what I've been telling people for a while now. Like, not even just the killing. I'm just talking about demoralizing like our culture in general, you know, through songs. But if you think about it, and this doesn't pertain to music, but there's a lot of different other entities that do that same thing. You gotta understand what the mafia was back then. I'm playing the devil's advocate here because there's a lot of motherfucking Bammers that died off of the mafia and they killed their own people, man.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. I agree that the mafia killed their whole people, but they don't have a whole fucking industry like where niggas is making billions of dollars off Black Death. Like that's a whole different shit.
You think the mafia wasn't billionaires and up there in the billions?
I'm talking about the industry. I'm talking about the industry where a white dude is like, here, I'm gonna get these niggas from this community and I'm gonna put these niggas on a platform and I'm gonna have these niggas talk about the stories that happen in their lives. And then they're gonna make millions and billions of fucking dollars for me and my Viacom companies and all these other motherfuckers. And guess who's gonna be buying that music more than anybody else? Non-fucking Black people. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
no, I agree.
Like that shit. That hip hop is pop music now. So there's a mainstream culture in Black men dying. Like hip hop is pop culture now, right? And so there's a pop aspect where you can go on the radio on pop records and niggas get talk about I shot that nigga and it's okay, but you can't talk about that shit on any other demographic.
Yeah,
y'all right. Niggas is okay with that?
Nah, you right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I remember hearing specifically that, and Rick Ross is my guy, but I remember hearing specifically that he got paid to talk about something specific on a song about killing another dude. And they put that message out there for a reason, bro. Like, and if I remember, I do remember like them saying like, this is your platform, and if we don't hear this in your next couple albums, then we ain't picking you up no more, or you ain't getting this funding for this. I remember something like that. I was like, duh, like it's crazy. But I already thought that in the first place. Like, it's almost like how you said news is made to feed your brain certain things. I feel like music is the same fucking way, especially with the culture.
Even within that, definitely. Like how many times you have, like I've been stopped watching the 10 o'clock news probably since I was like 20, but every night before you go to bed, some nigga from Southeast shouts some nigga and kill. So
I was gonna say that's the murder hour. That's the murder hour.
Some nigga killing, and you know what I'm saying. Right. So you didn't listen. You was in your car all day. You didn't listen to niggas shoot and kill niggas all day. You didn't turn on Boys in the Hood or whatever the fuck movie, Shot to some shit like that. And you go in the fucking bed, and then you're hearing about some nigga in your community or 20, 30 minutes away shot another nigga and kills. And this is every fucking day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you play it on the radio and they take the cuss words out, but the message is still the same shit. You know what I'm saying? So you can't get around that shit. You're right, though. You can't get around it.
This summer because everybody home.
Yeah, so you know. But look, man, but just everything I'm just saying, man, I'm not even about, I'm just talking about accountability. Like that's where I like to start with, like, you know what I'm saying? Where do we, when I'm talking about like the fact that police even exist, is because man is not fair to man. So now you got another entity to fuck both of y'all over.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
But they get away with it. That's the difference between like us killing us and them killing us. They get away with it almost 100%.
They can though, but that's because we allow authority. Authority is always going to get up. Like, you can get away with shit. How many times your parents have said, "Do as I say, not as I do"? Like, nigga, that's what authority does. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you can't get away because we've allowed this authority to protect us. You know, it's like that. It's like a saying, like, y'all both. I'm sure on some level everybody's experienced this, or on some level, whether you did it to somebody or somebody did it to you or whatever, or you've seen somebody where it's like when you see somebody needs you. It's like when somebody know that you need them, it's like they take advantage of you and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, or you'll take advantage. The fact that you know that somebody needs you, then you can get over on them just because you know that they need you. It's like that type of shit. It's like when you depend on somebody, you give them leverage over you. When they have leverage over you, they have the space to fuck you over. And that's on any level of life with anything you can think of. You know what I'm saying? That's how it goes. If you have any level of dependency, you're giving space for somebody to fuck you over. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just that simple.
Or benefit from that shit. And that's what other races are doing. So my point, all right, so I'm just gonna say I'm gonna go to the law aspect of it because I've within the last couple of years, I've even been looking at specific like laws and decrees and if this, then this type shit, right? And so some of these laws that's in place, man, are hundreds of years old. Like you can't. We are operating in a world, in a society that has laws that still abide when we were slaves. Like, what the fuck? Like, it is no way we can prosper as a fucking culture if we still are abiding by laws that indicate that we're fucking slaves. Like, and that's my thing. I feel like nobody's addressing the specific laws because we always say, yeah, you know, we can't do this and we can't do that. But like, why are we the only race that's not prospering off of this shit? Why are we the only race that's not benefiting off this? Because we're not talking about the actual law. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about the reaction afterwards.
Yeah, that's real. You ain't lying about that. And I mean, also, like, all right, so if you even look at other communities, right? Like, let's say you got the, you know, there's some sort of like infrastructure within the communities. It's like, okay, the men do this, the women do that. You know, we have this direction over here, we have that direction over there. Those dudes over here, they're gonna work on that. Those guys over there, they're gonna do this. Like they, you know what I'm saying? Like like we don't really have that shit. Everybody kind of do their own thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we might go, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we might have our holidays and shit like that. You know, we get together for the cookouts and that. But like, where's like all right, man, this is the direction of our community. Like, where that shit at? You know what I'm saying? Like that I think that's kind of where we got to start at. You know what I'm saying? Before we talk about outside shit. You know what I mean? Like, it has to be some sort of, you know, uniformity within us as a people. As far, and it even got to be, like I said, it's got to be like certain principles, man. We gonna keep this shit real. It has to be like a certain foundation in the way of life that we feel like we're gonna live by, and we're gonna stick true to that, and then we're gonna branch out and grow out from there. If there ain't no strong foundation in anything we do, ain't nothing gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna be talking, our grandchildren's gonna be having the same conversation, you know. Because if you pay attention, like you got like little China, you got all these other, and of course, you know, back in the day they got loans and got advantages that we weren't able to. But right now in this internet age where you got little 13-year-old niggas becoming millionaires, you mean to tell me you can't get a bunch of men together to come up with some shit? Like, nobody stopped that 13-year-old from making millions of fucking dollars. He just had a dream and a fucking phone, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, like the shit, the fucking barriers ain't as strong, you know what I'm saying, as they used to be. That's probably why they showing us getting shot so much, so we can lose hope, you know what I'm saying, and think that, you know, we are not in control of our destiny, you know what I mean?
That makes
that's
sense.
Probably why they crank up that's why they crank up the police brutality and shit, because it ain't that stronghold ain't as strong as it used to be. You know what I mean? It's like it's almost like that same shit back in the day when they used to hang niggas, lynch niggas, and then let everybody see. It's like the same shit. Let me show this dude getting shot on TV. It's the same shit. You know what I'm saying? When they used to lynch niggas back in the day and hang them, and then everybody in the neighborhood can see. Same shit. You know what I'm saying? Just to scare the niggas, just to get you niggas scared. You know what I'm saying? That's all they trying to do. You know?
Oh yeah. KKK is still alive.
What'd you say, Bill?
You don't think it's like a steeper slope though, when like certain individuals are actually profiting off of the amount of people in jail. We are like,
Of course.
yeah, so we the lead percentage in jail,
Yeah.
and people get government contracts and state funding for the amount of bodies that you got in jail, and then you send a whole bunch of white
Yeah, of course.
to prey on those people.
I
So,
mean, yeah, this system is all set up. You know what I'm saying? To because like I said, in capitalism, you got to have a permanent lower class. You got in order to have space for people to get rich, anybody to get rich. For me to get rich, there has to be poor people. For any of you niggas to get rich, there has to be niggas in poverty. It's impossible to have rich people. Like, if we were all rich, then who's rich now? If everybody is rich, then who is rich? You have to know who's poor in order to know that you're rich. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like, where there's no like true number that makes rich. Rich is all like based off perspective. Like, okay, in this society, in this community, like poor people look like this, rich people look like this. So niggas be like, oh, I want to look like the rich niggas, so I'm gonna work towards that, right? You know what I'm saying? So they have to keep their foot on our necks in order to sustain a poverty mentality and a mentality of lack and fear and hopelessness in order to keep us down there, because there's no growth in those mindsets. There's no progression in those mindsets. So, and also they call us black. They call themselves white. Everything that has to do with black is dark, evil, bad. Everything that has to do with white, pure, great, intelligence, all this other shit, right? So that means that subconsciously we think that we're linked to white success. It's like almost like our their light came from our dark. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we don't even know how to like separate ourselves. It's almost like a spell that we're under, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like we can't even separate ourselves from the idea of living without white people. You know what I'm saying? It's like Batman living without Joker. It's like there's no Batman without no Joker. You know what I'm saying? It's like that type of shit.